You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Darren Elkins takes on Julian Erosa this Saturday on the prelims of UFC 314. And we're going to see if Darren Elkins can continue his win streak at almost 41 years old and arguably the most competitive division in the UFC, 145 pounds. 40 years old, going to be 41 next month. Been in the UFC for what seems like forever. Made his debut back in 2010, so 15 years in the UFC. A lot of experience. A lot of very, very fun fights. Fought the who's who in the division. At one point was on a 6-fight winning streak before that was ended by none other than Alexander Volkanovski. So he's on a 2-fight winning streak right now over Daniel Pineda and TJ Brown. Recently fought in October, so taking a little bit of a break, but then hopping back in there against Julian Erosa. Darren Elkins, he's 5'10", with a 71-inch reach. He's 29-11 in his career. Julian Erosa is 6'1", with a 74.5-inch reach, 30-11 in his career. So very similar records. Julian Erosa is going to have the reach advantage by 3.5 inches, which I think is going to be pretty substantial in this fight. Darren Elkins, great scrambles, great cardio, always had very good wrestling, kind of rudimentary striking. Like he does carry a little bit of power, but primarily uses his striking to open up his takedowns, where he really succeeds in just kind of wearing on guys. Really weaponizes his pace, pushes guys to the limit, waits for them to kind of crack under the pressure, and then he that's where he really sees his success in getting his submissions or TKOs or just winning decisions. Again, his best qualities are his toughness and his grittiness, which especially at this point in his career and with his age really isn't, the qualities that you want to be leveraging to win fights against absolute killers at 145 pounds. But if he can take the damage coming from Julian Erosa and wear him out, he might stand a chance here. Julian Erosa, on the other hand, not the youngest guy ever either. He's 35 years old. Pretty good striking. He doesn't move his head very well in the pocket and when exchanging punches, which is concerning, and he does get hit a lot. He's fairly easy to hit and rock. He has been put away several times. I think he's got like been knocked out 5 times in the UFC, but at times he does have good defense, kind of rolls with the punches and moves with them to absorb the impact. He's a very rangy striker with a good variety of strikes, mixes it up well with the strikes, jabs, counters, has really good front kicks and teep kicks that he really takes advantage of his range, maintains the distance, kind of pokes at guys, has really good leg kicks as well. So he's willing to step into the fire and take a punch to land one, which doesn't always work out well for him because he is kind of chinny, and that concern grows even more with each day that goes by, considering he's kind of getting up there in age and he's taken a lot of damage in his career as well. So coming off of a really impressive performance over Christian Rodriguez, who tends to fraud check people who aren't ready and who aren't highly skilled. We've seen that a few times in Christian Rodriguez's career. He's usually putting the pace on people, pushing forward, looking for takedowns. But in this last fight, Julian Erosa was able to really just kind of mix up his strikes, really keep him on the back foot and push the pace on him. He was checking the kicks well, opening up with his combos, was able to catch a kick, get a takedown, and then once Christian Rodriguez reversed him, he was able to get the guillotine choke. So really good feather in his cap, finishing somebody like Christian Rodriguez. And before that, same thing, guillotine choked Ricardo Ramos. He did get dropped and hurt really bad by Ricardo Ramos in that fight. Dropped really bad and hurt against Fernando Padilla and put away by Alex Caceres before that. So he's taken a lot of damage in this fight. I just don't think Darren Elkins is going to be able to put the damage and the volume on him to hurt him and to put him away like that. So that's why I'm going to go with Julian Erosa in this one. The biggest concern with Julian Erosa, like I said, is his chin. But I just don't see Darren Elkins at almost 41 years old landing on his chin and putting him out. And I don't see him taking him down and wearing him out either. I think Erosa will be beating up Elkins on the feet. Much better striker. He's going to have a huge reach advantage, not with just the hands, but with the feet as well. Going to be beating up the calf, beating him up as he comes in. And I really do think Elkins is just going to be kind of safe everywhere in this fight. I think on the feet, he's definitely going to be better. I think if it does go to the ground, he's going to be able to stay safe there and look for submissions or potentially get back up to his feet. We saw him get back up to his feet really well in his fight with Christian Rodriguez, I think it was, just kicking off the hips and getting back to where he can land his strikes. So I think Erosa will pick him apart on the feet and then on the ground, I think he'll find the sub. Darren Elkins has really good submission defense. He's hard to get out of there. We saw that in his last fight against Daniel Pineda. But Daniel Pineda is a little bit shorter, a little bit stockier, and a little bit older than Julian Erosa, to where I feel like Erosa with, he's highly skilled on the ground. He's younger. He's going to be faster, stronger, and he's got the longer limbs to find those chokes that Daniel Pineda couldn't find. So, again, Elkins, he's taken tons of damage in his career. His name is The Damage. I just feel like it's going to catch up with him in this one. I know Elkins has looked, pretty good for a 40-year-old as of late, on a 2-fight winning streak, but I just feel like at some point he's not going to be able to weaponize his pace and his toughness. Like eventually those are going to go, and going up against somebody like Julian Erosa, who's going to be beating him up on the feet, is going to be able to go tit for tat with him, match his pace, match his cardio, and has more finishing potential on the feet and on the ground. I think that Julian Erosa will get this one done. I imagine this will eventually go to the ground. Maybe he's stinging Elkins on the feet. He shoots in, head on the outside, and Julian Erosa catches him in a guillotine or some kind of a Darce choke, leveraging his long limbs and his really good jiu-jitsu on the ground. So I'm going to go with Julian Erosa to get this one done by submission. Thanks.